Farmer with your money if you work hard. Farmer with your money if you work hard.
Cocoa farmers in Cameroon continue to face challenges in meeting up with the exigencies of the standards required by the international market. In order to make cooperative competitive and improve farmers' income, the Cocoa Business Service Center, CBSC, was introduced in the frame of procedure founded by the German Corporation, implemented by GIZ in partnership with SMV.
The processor wanted to work on the cocoa value chain because there was a real problem on the post-harvest phase. And with SNV, we identified innovations that for us were promising and really elaborate the whole process to improve the quality of the cocoa after harvesting.
The Cocoa Business Service Center provides sustainable solutions for the management of post-harvest operations to improve quality in the cocoa value chain by concentrating infrastructures and training on one spot for better management, control, and traceability of activities. These centers offer a medium for capacity building and service delivery under the following components: cooperative development, which targets the organizational and institutional development of cooperatives; cocoa processing and marketing by cooperatives, which involves the use and management of innovations for fermentation, drying, storage, and transformation of cocoa beans; market linkage, which tackles access to cocoa market, quality input, and financial services.
The Cocoa Business Service Center has three major components: cooperative development, which seeks to tackle the institutional and organizational capacities of cooperatives. Under this aspect, the cooperatives have been trained and their capacities built on financial and business as well as administrative procedures.
If you go to the field now, most of them have their structural budget. They are running their business now, taking into consideration their budget so that they should not exceed what was budgeted. We made them to understand that a business cannot be run without working capital, so that when they make profits, they should be able to keep aside some working capital that they will use in starting the business subsequently. So all the necessary financial tools have been kept in place. We've realized that most of the committees have been formed: input committee, market committee, and so on and so forth. We also realized that some of them were not registered. We had now to sensitize them on the new OHADA law in order to be legal corporate.
The second major component is cocoa processing and marketing by cooperatives, which handles post-harvest operations and innovations for fermentation, drying, storage, processing for cocoa butter and powder. The third and last component is market linkage, which targets access to finance, access to inputs by cooperatives, as well as access to cocoa beans markets.
We started by exposing them through the management to the value chain actors based in Douala, for instance. We exposed them to the buyers, local international buyers represented, so that they can have a face-to-face contact with these buyers. We also took them to input distributors and exposed their capacity of consumption of the various types of inputs. We also exposed them to banks and microfinance institutions so that they can draw a balance sheet within these two institutions, that the banks and the cooperatives, their capacity of the amount, the volume of money they can use based on their turnover, and also based on their past experiences on credit and repayment of credit.
The Cocoa Business Service Center, being a center of innovations, also serves as a medium for knowledge sharing, during which capacity building is rendered to farmers on several themes, amongst which include leadership, gender issues for youth and women involvement in the cocoa value chain, food security and nutrition. The Cocoa Business Service Center creates an awareness for the food diversification in the cocoa-producing communities for better management of health and farms by cooperative members.
We realize that women are not very much involved in the production of cocoa per se within the cocoa chain. If we take the example of the Central region, the women are more into groundnut production, cassava production. In the Southwest, they are more into vegetable production. So they look at cocoa as a male's activity until the project came on to create this awareness that women too can get into cocoa. So this awareness is created, and within the cooperatives now, based on the trainings the leadership program has brought in, we have an increase in membership of women, an increase in the membership of young persons, and especially young girls.
SNV has put forth various strategies for knowledge sharing. Some of such strategies include the capacity building of cooperatives and farmers by local capacity builders, as well as trainers of trainees, commonly called TOTs.
TOT allows training and information to reach the grassroots level. So I mean, at the level of the cooperators. Cocoa farmers who cannot come here for training, TOTs allow all that we learn here to reach them where they are.
At first, I not be fit stand for all the talk as I the talk now, so I began a fear inside me. But through this training, they don't train me where I fit stand for all now. I talk with people. I'd go for quarter, I try to talk about the cooperative. And for now, too, plenty people them, more especially women them, they don't decide for join the cooperative because for the good news we don't bring them for them.
In order to expand the knowledge sharing approach of the Cocoa Business Service Center, the training of trainer strategy was used in 4 Cocoa Business Service Centers. A sweet cocoa database has been created, lodged in a computer that captures all the activities and business transactions of the center to assure governance, accountability, and transparency.
La base de données est d'une importance très capitale.
The database is of paramount importance in the development of cooperatives. First, for the simple reason that the world is becoming more and more digital. There is no question that cooperatives are lagging behind. Besides the papers they have always used to fill in their information, it was necessary to have a much more synthetic and easily portable tool. But with the dynamic database now available online, they can be invited anywhere in the world, and where they are, they can have access to their information, either through a computer available in these organizations, or even through their Android mobile phones. They can access their databases, read their information, or introduce new information to update the databases.
Introduire de nouvelles informations pour mettre à jour ces bases de données.
As an income generation center, the use of the infrastructures by members is subject to a token fee. The cooperative manages the Cocoa Business Service Center infrastructure through her administrators of the management board. They oversee the proper functioning of all the different units.
We have seen that all these units are already functional, and the challenge now is their proper use. Our goal is not only to put forth infrastructures, but to see them being utilized to create jobs. And I think when I saw here in Bafia, we have at least 10 jobs created for the post-harvest operations. We thus have employment, productivity, and we also benefit from non-exploitation because we move from production to transformation, which is a very important element in value addition for the cocoa value chain. So for the moment, the results are encouraging, but we expect more in terms of profits, productivity, and job creation.
Rassemblons-nous sous la maîtrise des forces, travaillons de même que soyons unis, car c'est l'union qui fait la force, et sans union tout est gâché, tout est perdu. En travaillant